It's very easy within Drupal and Islandora to change the name or reorder the metadata fields that appear on object pages. You just have to make sure to do it in each display, and there are 10 of them. So in this video, we're going to look at how to do just that. First, let's look at the display modes that control how the objects show up to site visitors. We're going to go to Structure, Content Types, Repository Item, Manage Display. Each of these tabs up here represents a display mode. For the purposes of this video, we will ignore Search Index over here and Teaser over here because neither of these is used for object pages. Search Index is used on collection and search results pages, and Teaser is used on taxonomy list pages. You'll see that the table on each tab, or display mode, shows the fields that are used in that display, as well as the order in which they will appear. Everything in the item description tab, where the metadata is within this default object detail field group, and then within item description. And if we scroll all the way down, we'll see the disabled section, and these are fields that are not used in this display. If you'd like to reorder or remove or enable fields, you can just drag and drop them here. Make sure to click Save all the way down here when you're done. And if you want that change to apply to all the displays, make sure to make the same change on all the other tabs up here. Compound objects, however, are a special case. We'll look at those in a minute. Before you move on to another display mode tab, once again, be sure to click the Save button at the bottom of the page to save your changes for each display. As you're making the changes to the various display mode tabs, you'll notice that some of them only contain a few fields. For example, Collection is only used for collection objects, so it only has these two. The Compound Member display mode only applies to the non-metadata fields that appear above the metadata table on compound object pages like social media icons, the holder for the image viewer, and the download button. Similarly, Newspaper is used for newspaper parents, which are containers for newspaper issues, so generally no metadata fields really appear there. You will see these, just like on the Compound Member page, you will see title, social media icons, and then some fields that have to do with the table that contains the newspaper issues, links, and then there is a description field if you would like to include metadata there. And I can show you an example of dragging and dropping something. Say I wanted to display some other metadata, like, let's find a good one here. An alternative title. I'm just going to drag that all the way up and say I want to put it here. And then I'll scroll down and be sure to click Save so that that change is saved. Now that we've seen how to rearrange fields for single objects, if you want to reorder or enable or disable fields for compound objects, you need to do that in a different place. Compound object labels and field order are managed in a view. So up here in the admin menu, we're going to go to Structure, Views. This is going to bring us to a list of all the views on the site. We're going to scroll down to Islandora Object Metadata and click Edit. You'll see here that there are two displays, current object and parent object. Any change you make needs to be made in both displays. In the fields section here, you'll see all the metadata fields used for compound objects, which generally should match the fields you saw on the single object display modes. To reorder them, up in this drop-down, you click Rearrange. And here you can drag and drop just like you can for the single objects. And then click Apply this display. And then once you do that, and this is important, make sure to scroll down and click Save to save the change to this display that you're working with here. And you want to do the same thing on the parent object display. If you want to remove a field from the display, instead of dragging it into the disabled section like you do for a single object, you actually click on the field and then click Remove. And again, you need to do that in both displays and click Apply. And again, you also need to click Save each time you make a change to the display. Now let's talk about changing field labels, the name that shows up for site visitors that they see on the front end of the site. Since we're in a compound object view, we'll start by looking at the process for compound objects. First, we're going to click on the field, and then in the label field, we can change this text to whatever we want. Click Apply this display, and then again, be sure to click Save right here, and be sure to make the change in both places, current object and parent object. To change a field label for single objects, we're going to go to a different location. We're going to go back to Structure, Content Types, Repository Item, Manage Fields. Now here, we find the field we want to change the name of. Click Edit. And you can change this label to whatever text you like. Scroll down, click Save Settings, and you're done. And that's all there is to it.